Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you guys the importance of the statement that I use quite often, hashtag see something, say something. And in this situation, thank goodness that somebody saw this child that was out wandering around for God knows what reason. But this is a very, very crazy story. I think it actually was a godsend that it happened this way. Otherwise, these children might have been in a world of trouble and probably some worse things would have happened. But before we get to that, obviously my content, I think some people might find it controversial or offensive, but the information is coming from credible sources, including court records, official police charges, and news websites. My commentary is also going to have my personal opinion about the facts of each and every one of these stories. The point is to use them as cautionary tales so that we can end this cycle of abuse against children. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. Now, I need to put these two people up on my screen here. I don't know why they are looking like two healthy grizzly bears on my screen. I guess you call them polar bears. But I always think it's the craziest thing in the world when children are being neglected, children are being starved, and children are just flat out being mistreated. And I think that is just the sickest thing that you could possibly do. So brace yourselves for this. These two ugly individuals that you guys see on my screen allegedly kept their home disgusting in condition and failed to keep an eye on their 4-year-old daughter, who ended up wandering out of the house with no clothes on. Also need to give a shout out real quick to lawandcrime.com. That's where this article is coming from. So thank you for the article. I get a lot of articles from lawandcrime.com. Let me say that again. These people were so consumed with doing whatever type of drugs, whatever type of homework or home business, whatever the hell these people are doing. I don't know what the hell that they do. That they failed to keep an eye on their hashtag, thank you. Hashtag hoodbillies. Hashtag. Oh my goodness. Hashtag when you date hillbillies, you date death, man. This is absolutely insane. These people had no idea that their 4-year-old daughter wandered outside and was walking around the streets of Florida with no clothes on. I think everybody understands the climate that we live in here, especially in the United States of America, where children are disappearing every day. Children are being kidnapped every day. The child sex industry is a horrible, horrible thing that is plaguing our country right now, right? You guys understand what I'm saying? So I want y'all to imagine between the pedos and hebos that are out there, this baby could speak for herself nor defend herself and probably had no idea what was going on. Matter of fact, you'd even have to ask yourself, where were her clothes to begin with? 4 years old. Walked outside, nobody knows nothing. The individuals that you guys see on my screen, I know those pictures aren't very bright. Let me see. Especially in the brain, their brains are not very bright either. But let me see if I have a better, brighter picture right here. The young individual on the left is Crystal Slauson, 38 years old, and Michael Allen Slauson is 38 years old as well. And they are out of Vero Beach, Florida. And both of them have been arrested and charged with 2 counts each of child endangerment, according to online records. Now, police described the home as covered in feces, urine, and bugs. Let me tell y'all, and I was trying to remember what the term is for these homes that are this nasty. They call them deplorable. This is a deplorable home. And that word is synonymous with people that are just filthy beyond belief. And I don't know if they actually say it in this article or not. I think they do. I think they definitely do in the video. So let me share this piece of information with you guys. This house was so effing disgusting that the police believe that the children were painting the walls with poop. Yeah. They believe that the children were taking feces and wiping it over the wall and painting it like they were Picasso, wiping it on the walls. They say the home was covered in urine, feces, and bugs. Michael allegedly said that he left the home dirty because he was depressed and lost motivation when he tried to clean. And Crystal, the mother, who chewed him out in front of the police for playing video games instead of watching their children, said that she had a knee injury, according to police. Let me call something out here. First of all, let me tell you guys, for those who don't know, I do suffer from depression, just like a lot of us do. I know some personal friends of mine that suffered from depression. It's a very, very prevalent thing. One thing that can add to depression and make it worse is when you start having kids when you're not ready to have kids. I always think it's crazy how people want to claim that they have mental illness and suffer from depression and have kids, are knowing that they have these issues and knowing that they're not suitable to be parents. And on top of that, let me call something out here, because y'all know I'm a big dude. I've been on a weight loss journey for a long time trying to drop some of this weight. I've been doing okay. So I'm not the picture of health, but let me point something out. I want y'all to look at this picture. This woman is so big, they were only able to get about 1/10 of her body in this picture. That is a huge, well-fed woman. Very well fed. Ma'am, she's talking about, she said that she couldn't clean up the house because she has a knee injury. I bet you do have a knee injury, ma'am. I bet your knees are probably injured all day, every day from trying to carry around all of those extra stomachs that you have, right? Like she's just carrying around these big, huge sandbags all the time. Yes, that is going to wear on your body, wear on your knees, and wear on your what? It's going to wear on your heart, which is how people end up dying from heart disease. It is not a healthy thing. And I know society says, well, Just Jay, you shouldn't be fat shaming. Well, somebody needs to shame people from doing the wrong things, don't you think? If something is a detriment to your health, don't you think that we should say something, right? We clown crackheads all the time, do we not? Mm-hmm. Yep. For people who drink alcohol and to a nauseating point, don't we talk about alcoholics? Mm-hmm. Need to get them some help, right? But when it comes to being overweight and obese and clogged arteries and I bet you this woman breath smell like old cheeseburgers and trash. Probably don't brush her teeth. Like she just all day, right? Woosah. Let me calm down. So if those things are bad, then why wouldn't we tell a person that something that they are doing that is a detriment to their health, you probably should reverse course. You probably should eat healthy. You probably should put down the Coca-Colas and the sodas and the sugar and the snacks, right? You probably shouldn't be driving through the McDonald's to be ordering everything off the dollar menu just because it's cheap. I know some of y'all might not like what I said, but just tell me when I said something that is not based on facts, something that is factually not accurate. I get it. Some of y'all might not have very thick skin. If I were to pinch you, your skin would probably come off, right? But that's the truth. Yes, ma'am, your knees are going to hurt. I bet you your thighs hurt. I bet you your heart hurt. I bet you your lungs hurt. I bet your back probably is always in pain. Yes, because you look like you're about a good 425 pounds. Sheesh. Simple concept. Put the fast food down, ma'am. Down. Nonetheless, an officer claimed to have seen her walk with a cane and to be good enough in condition to clean up if she wanted to. And let me tell y'all, shout out to those officers for even putting that quote in there. They said that she didn't look broken down enough that she could have got her fat ass up and went in there and cleaned up a little bit. No excuse for that, and I'm glad they said it. Now, according to the arrest affidavit, an officer responded to the address on 18th Street where the young, naked 4-year-old baby walked around the neighborhood. A resident saw that she was walking in front of his home, and he rushed to help her and called law enforcement. 2 construction workers down the street said that they saw a little girl exit from a nearby home and head west. The officer checked the home in question, and Michael Slauson opened the door. Police said that Slauson allegedly said that he put the child, identified in documents as GES, to bed at night. The officer claimed to immediately see signs of the home being in an unhealthy, hazardous condition. I think they're going to say this in the video. They said that this house smelled so freaking bad that as soon as matter of fact, they said the house smelled so bad that before well, not him, or not her, him, whatever, back that up. They said that before Michael Slauson even opened the door, they could smell how bad that house was before he even opened the door. They could smell it just from walking up on the porch. Upon further investigation on the north side of the house, I observed a window open with the screen off, police wrote. The room, which can be plainly observed from outside of the residence, had an odor of feces, and I also observed feces smeared onto the walls of the bedroom with miscellaneous trash on the ground, deeming it unfit and unsafe for a child. The couple also had a 9-year-old child by the initials SS who lived in the home. Amid the police investigation, a local DCF area supervisor told police that the parents were investigated not once, not twice, not 3 or 4 times, but 5 times. And I'm wondering, because a house, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, a house does not get this way overnight. This takes months and months and months of neglect, maybe even years. So I'm thinking, if you're going back to 2015 up until now, what type of investigation did they do? Did they even go inside the house? Matter of fact, this house smells so bad, you could smell how funky it was just from walking on the porch. So if DCF is claiming that they did an investigation, where did they look? Where did they investigate? Did you tell these people to meet you somewhere and you just talked to them and said, okay, they're good parents, I'm not going to even look at the house? I can guarantee you, if these people are this damn nasty, it's been nasty this way the entire time. He didn't just wake up one day and just decide to be depressed. He's been depressed this whole time. She didn't just wake up one day and decided to be overweight and her knees can't handle it. She's been big probably for a lifetime. 5 investigations since 2015, with the main complaint being environmental hazard, according to the affidavit. I don't know how they missed that. Living flies and other bugs were observed in all parts of the residence, the officer wrote, describing a new walkthrough with a DCF investigator that happened the day after the incident. The residents possessed a distinct odor of urine and feces, and I'm sorry if y'all are eating. I'm so sorry. I know that's disgusting. But I want y'all to think about this is what these babies, at least 2 children, had to live through. I don't know how many children were actually there, but we can at least account for 2. A 4-year-old girl and a 9-year-old. It smelled of that stuff that was almost overpowering in some parts of the residence. Within the children's bedroom, I also observed fecal matter smeared and dried approximately 3/4 the way up the bedroom door and parts of the walls. I observed a large amount of feces on the ground within the bedroom. Oh my gosh. Now, I did warn y'all before y'all got to this story that it was going to be some details that were going to rock you to the core. I've already forewarned you, so I'm sorry. Michael allegedly said that the feces on the wall was from his daughter painting the wall with fecal matter. Do y'all think that's a product of a bad child, a child who just don't understand, or just a disgusting, nasty child, which I don't believe? Or is that bad parenting? Do you blame the child who's been taught this way and doesn't know any better? Never been disciplined properly? Never been taught properly? Or do you blame the parents who should have been guiding this child in the way that she should go? Training this child in the way that she should live. I don't blame the kids at all. I never do. I blame the parents. A hallway bathroom floor, oh my gosh. A hallway bathroom floor was covered in urine and feces, police said. Dishes piled in the kitchen sink, and there was a putrid residue on both the stove and the counter. Oof. I'm not going to eat until tomorrow. I got to sleep this off. My goodness. On Crystal's first contact with police, she allegedly said that she was in her bedroom when a child escape happened, and she didn't hear her daughter exit through the window. Crystal told the officer about having insomnia, according to the affidavit. Police wrote, "Let it be noted, while speaking with Crystal, she spontaneously said, 'You should have been watching the children, not playing your stupid video games.' And she said that to the father, Michael." Can y'all put your poo emojis in the chat, please? Oh my goodness. She said that he should have been watching the kids instead of playing his stupid video games. Keep in mind, there is dirty dishes, dirty stoves, dirty refrigerators. There is shit and piss everywhere. But the video games are the problem. The video games are the problem. Not the fact that... Let's keep going, man. Both of the Slausons allegedly suggested to police that the child must have exited their home through the bedroom window, and neither of them knew that she was gone until police brought her back home. I also observed all parties to appear dirty and unkempt, police said. Both children possessed a strong odor and appeared unclean. I also observed feces on the left knee of Mrs. Slauson's pants. Oh my God. They said that she had poop on her pants, on her left knee. I wonder if that's the knee that got hurt. Oh my goodness. Michael posted bond, online court records show. Crystal remains in jail on a $10,000 bond. Neither of them have attorneys on record. How did he even post bond? What, he got money Maybe you could have paid a housekeeper or something. Man, I don't know. Let me give you guys the fair usage. This is disgusting. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all pray for these babies. These babies are in so much trouble. Just hit that thumbs up. Share these videos. We have got to get more of this information out there to the mainstream because I don't know why so many people haven't heard of these stories. But you could also share them from our channel because this is what we specifically talk about all day, every day. Somebody in the chat said that more like the Slopsons. So we're going to, instead of the Slawsons, we're going to call them the Slopsons. I like that name. We're going to use that. Let's get it.
We're following breaking news tonight. Two Vero Beach parents are facing child neglect charges after one of their children was found wandering alone.
Yeah, the officers were called to a home over on 18th Street yesterday after someone had reported a 3 or 4-year-old wandering alone in the yard. The child was not wearing any clothes.
The parents, Michael and Crystal Slalom, were found later at a home down the street. When officers walked inside their home, they saw another young child living in what they called deplorable conditions. According to police, the home was covered in human waste and trash, and there was no edible food in the fridge. The couple was taken into custody. They're being held on $10,000 bond. The children are now in the care of the state.
First at 11, new information tonight about the dangerous living conditions discovered in that Treasure Coast home after a 4-year-old was found wandering in the street alone. And new details from the parents, now in jail. Good evening, I'm Todd McDermott.
And I'm Felicia Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us. Reporter Ari Hyde spoke with the neighbors who found the child and what their discovery unveiled.
To give you an idea of just how bad this situation was, police here in Vero Beach tell me the children would, quote, paint their bedroom walls with their own feces. Now those children are in the custody of the state. Their parents are in jail, charged with child neglect. From the outside, the home on 18th Street in Vero Beach looks normal, looks clean. But police say that's not what was on the inside.
It's so hard to imagine.
Lieutenant Daniel Cook says even veteran officers were disturbed by what they saw.
It was covered in feces, urine, trash. The refrigerator was covered in mold. There was no food in the refrigerator.
Police say Michael and Crystal Slawson were living in that filth with their 2 children, a 4-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy. The little girl walked away from the home Wednesday afternoon, no clothes, wandering the neighborhood for almost an hour.
I saw it was a child, and the child was naked. So I let April know what was going on, and she ran out to help.
And I looked to see if there were any adults or anybody that might have been looking for her or that she was with, and there was no one to be found.
April brought the girl inside, gave her clothes, gave her water.
She was very filthy. She smelled like she hadn't had a bath in a very long time, and that was immediately concerning.
Joe called police. Other neighbors directed officers to the girl's home. Those officers say they could smell the filth before the parents even opened the door.
When they got inside, they found the most deplorable conditions they'd ever seen. It was absolutely unimaginable, unlivable.
I think it's probably some of the worst conditions you can think of. I mean, it's definitely, jails are cleaner than that.
It breaks my heart too, and it makes me angry that somebody would allow these children to live like this.
Police say Michael Slawson told them he suffers from depression. Crystal Slawson said she has a hurt knee. That's why they couldn't care for the children or clean the house. Again, they are both now in jail charged with child neglect. In Vero Beach, Ari Hyde, WPBF 25 News.
So let me give you guys my closing thoughts. We're going to keep this really, really short. Again, how nobody noticed this. I mean, that smell would have hit you if you were a neighbor. I don't know how, it wasn't. Actually, they did report it. Now, remember I told y'all when you see something, say something. If you report it as being a neighbor, that's really all you can do. Like, they've called police, they've called DCF, but DCF allegedly did 5 investigations. I don't see how they did. But they would have caught this, and they should have caught this. But these people, like I said, I don't really know how much time they deserve in prison for this. I don't think I don't know if they're going to learn anything. I mean, they're just going to get out and still continue to be nasty individuals. But at least they definitely don't need these children. And we got to pray for those kids, because there's no telling how long they've been living like this, how long this has been ingrained into their mind. But I hope that they can get into the proper care for somebody that can raise them, and that they can grow up and become something great. So keep those children in your prayers. At least they survived. So this is somewhat of a positive story, just a nasty story in general. But let me know what you guys think. How much time should they get in prison? Should they get any prison time? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section on this story, okay? Thank you.